Good morning, everyone. Oh boy, I'm so happy to be here. I love these Monday mornings. I've missed you guys. And today's subject is one I love as usual. Why would I do a subject I don't love, right? That's why I say that so much. That's why I'm always like, oh, I'm so excited to talk about this. Or, oh, I love this subject. Yeah, it's my freaking show. And I talk about the things that interest me, right? Okay, so one of the questions that I have asked myself in my own life many times, and almost every client who comes to see me, there's a version of this question. And it is, what is my truth? What's my most essential self? And what is my compensatory self? Or who am I that was conditioned, that was traumatized, that felt like I had to be someone different for the people around me or the circumstances I was in? Because at some point in our lives, we crave knowing this. At some point in our lives, we're like, oh my word, I just want to come back to my truest self, to the purest version of myself. And y'all know I don't mean pure like righteous and virginal. I mean pure like true, core. Who is our real core self? It's quite a question for, 6 o'clock on a Monday morning, isn't it? Here's the thing. I spent many hours exploring this one. I would chart it out. Okay, so when I was a little girl, and I would start to write it down, but in my case, and in some of your lives, because of what you went through in your early childhood, you maybe didn't even have a chance to know who you really were before the trauma started, right? So if you're anything like me and the trauma started as a baby or, with conception, basically, then how do you know that? And I really feel like we can get stuck in this one. I feel like we can spin out in trying to figure out what is our real self and what is our wounded self, our compensatory self. Now, we've talked about this in other videos, of course, because this is a subject that comes up a lot for those people that are willing to shine the light on every single corner of their lives. They want to know the truth. And so these are the three questions I have. These are the three questions that I have started asking myself instead of, is this my conditioned self or my core self? Because this will point to it. And how can I really 100% know, oh, this is the most essential version of myself? Because we shift, we change throughout our lifetimes. Some things will stay the same. Someday we'll be on our deathbed going, you know what? I totally ended up being sassy my whole entire life from the time I was 1 until I was 97. So I guess that was my most essential self. But how do we know, right? So these are the three questions I began asking myself. The very first one, does it bring me joy? Now, something in you is going to kind of be like, blah, who cares? Or that's overused. It's become very cliche. But really, does you being a certain way bring happiness to your life? Okay, that's the first question. The second question, does me being a certain way bless the lives of those closest to me? Okay, these are your partners in life. These are your children, your parents, your siblings, your very closest friends, your clients. Does you being a certain way bless their lives? So that's the second question. The third question is me being this way getting me what I really want? Truly want, big picture, long-term, deep desire is being a certain way getting you what you want? because I really feel like these are ways that we can start to point to what's compensatory and what's true. I'm going to bring up a specific example of mine, and I brought it up before, but this is like my big one, and that is me being high-strung, right? Type A personality, kind of control freak, go, 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 very busy, very controlling, demanding, and worried underneath all of that. There's an anxiety that drives that for me. And truthfully, I've never met someone high-strung who didn't have anxiety as a very tangible energy about them. So, is that my core self? Well, let's take it through the process. So first, does that bring me joy? Absolutely not. In fact, it does the opposite of that. I feel heavy. I feel tight and contracted, very wound up. And not surprisingly, a lot of the health issues that I've had have been things like pinched nerves, big knots in my body. Most of my health issues have been structural, from going like this. Ugh. Okay? So does it bring me joy? No. Does it bless the lives of those closest to me? Resounding no. And I promise you that my children and Gideon could tell you that that was true. They don't want to be around me when I'm being like that. Right? I go to great lengths not to show up like that for clients. And then I sort of like let my guard down and I'm very high strung. Not all the time, but I can be very high strung at home. And it's not enjoyable for anybody who's around it. Third question, is it getting me what I want? Even asking that question, I can feel the resistance in my body to that. Because there's a piece of me that believes that someday it will get me what I want. That's the whole idea behind it. The whole reason to be high strung is because part of me believes that at some point it's going to pay off. At some point, me micromanaging things and me being worried all the time and me being upset over small things is going to pay off. Has it paid off so far? Well, I'm almost 50, and the answer to that is no. It has not, and it so far has not given me what I want. Now, the ego loves this one. Oh boy, does the ego love well, not so far, but it probably will, damn it, because it can just keep us spinning in that illusion. But the reality is that just taking on this one example, it's a no to all three of those questions. Okay? So you guys, that points pretty heavily that me being high strung is a compensatory behavior. I always choose ones that are like super triggering for me. Gotta walk the talk, right, guys? Willing to do whatever it takes, including being vulnerable on camera. But I love you guys, and I know you love me, and so I feel safe doing that. And I would do it even if I didn't feel safe. Okay, so then what is truer than me being high strung? What would be a yes to all three of those questions? Okay, so I'm going to feel into that one for a minute. Okay, so what is another aspect of myself that shows up a lot? Another aspect of myself that shows up a lot is being very, very devoted. I'm a devoted kind of a person. I care so much about my business and my clients and my family. Okay, so let's take that. Okay, does being devoted bring me joy? Yes. Absolutely. The thing that came up for me with that one was my nieces and nephews. I love them so much. And I get great joy from, knowing all their birthdays and making sure they all get a birthday present and a Christmas present. And they know how much I love them. And that brings me great joy. Does it bless the lives of those closest to me? Yeah, it does. They know that I care. They know that they matter to me. And they've known that for many years. Does it get me what I want? Absolutely. The connection that I want, the focus that I want on what matters to me most? Yes. So then, is being devoted a part of my most essential self? Yes, I believe that it is. So what this does, what these questions do, is they're just a way to filter. They're a way to parse out, and y'all know how much I love the parsing out thing, but what is compensatory and what is essential? What is core? What is a core part of ourselves? So I'm going to ask you to look for yourself. What is a part of you that really, honestly, doesn't feel very good when you first think of it? Take it through those questions. What's a part of you that feels like really true to you? It feels like a really wonderful part of yourself. Ask it those same questions, and you can do this with anything. So if you've got something going on in there that you just don't love, that you suspect may not be working for you, take it through these 3 very simple questions and see where it lands. And you know what? Feel free to do this with every part of your personality, with your preferences, with your belief systems. Does it bring me joy? Does it bless the lives of those closest to me? And is it getting me what I want? Okay? All right. This is a good one. This is kind of a fun one if you're willing to take it on. As always, I would love to hear from you. Let's hear how it goes. And at the end of the day, this truly could be a formula for getting clear on your most essential self. I love you guys. May your coffee be strong and your life be blessed. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please like and subscribe. It really helps out my channel. And if you would be interested in working with me further, you can check out DawniAngel.com. I would love to come speak to your group, come to your business to do a training, be on your podcast, my personal favorite, or even work with you one-on-one.